Hey friends, welcome back to Find the Joy with Jen. I'm so glad you're here today. If you're going through a divorce or even just trying to recover from one, I want you to know that you're in the right place. This episode is all about reclaiming your peace and learning how to stop giving away your emotional energy to people and things you cannot control. I'm talking about something I call staying in your circle of power. This is a tool that completely changed the way I navigated the chaos and emotion of my own divorce. And I just recently went through it with my faithful divorce coaching clients, and it is so helpful. I know that it will help you too. If you're new here, I'm Jen Zingmark, your LDS life and divorce coach, here to help you navigate the challenges of divorce with faith, grace, and resilience. If you're tired of giving your power away to your ex, your in laws, or your triggers, take one small action that is 100% in your control and hit that subscribe button. Okay, grab a notebook or just settle in with an open heart and let's dive into this powerful topic. What is the circle of power? Imagine you're standing inside a circle. The circle represents your power, your control, your agency. Inside the circle are three things: your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. That's it. What's outside the circle? That's where everything else lives. Your ex's behavior, your child's attitude, your co parenting text exchange, the legal system, your in law's opinions, and everyone else's in the world's opinions about your situation, your life, your divorce, your past, as well as your future. Those things are not inside your circle of power. And while they definitely will affect you, they do not belong inside your power zone. Now, why this matters so much during divorce. I know you're probably thinking, cool idea, Jen, but it sure feels like other people are in control of my life right now. And yes, I have been there. I know how you feel. I remember feeling like my ex had a wrecking ball against my emotional world that was just wreaking havoc constantly. Every message, every delay with paperwork, every little jab just felt like it yanked me out of control of my life. And it felt like it had the power to just ruin my day. You know what I mean, if you've been there. I remember thinking, well, if he would just apologize or he would just recognize how out of line his behavior is, or if he would just be fair, or if he could just show up like a normal human being, I would feel better. But here's the problem with that thinking. I was handing over the keys to my emotional peace to someone who had already proven that they weren't safe with it, right? That's when I realized I needed to pull back into my circle of power. Because here's the truth, friend. You cannot wait on someone else to heal you. You have to take control of your own healing, and it is completely within your power to do so. Let me give you an example. A client of mine got a text from her ex that said, I hope the kids enjoyed their time with you. Maybe next time you won't brainwash them against me. Ouch, right? Cue the cortisol. She was ready to fire back, but instead, we took a pause. She looked at her circle. What was inside her circle? Her thoughts about the text message, her feelings of hurt and anger and defensiveness, as well as her choice to reply or not reply. What was outside of her circle? His manipulative accusation, his emotional immaturity. What she ultimately decided was not to reply at all. Like I tell my clients all the time, no response is a response. So instead, she went on a walk, she called a friend, we had a coaching session, and reminded herself, this is his stuff, not mine. I am still safe inside my circle of power. That is real power, friends. Sometimes the best response is no response at all. Silence is an answer. What if you're really not ready yet? If you're in the early stages of grief, betrayal trauma, rejection, abandonment, this concept might feel impossible for you right now. Just consider it, give it some time to grow, okay? You may be thinking, how can I stay in my circle when everything is falling apart outside of it? And let me just validate that. It is okay if this feels extremely hard, even impossible sometimes. But that doesn't mean it's not true. Sometimes staying in your circle looks like letting yourself cry in bed or taking a kickboxing class to let the rage out. Yes, I did body combat through my entire separation, divorce, and post divorce for quite a few years, and I highly recommend it for letting out anger, frustration, and rage. Check it out. Other times, it means choosing not to scroll on your ex's social media feed, even though you really want to. All of those are acts of agency, and those are wins for staying inside your circle of power. Let me give you another example. Maybe someone in your family says, well, maybe if you had just tried harder, you wouldn't be in this mess. Now, you may have heard similar things. I personally have heard similar things and have had many clients who have had well-meaning family members say really hurtful things like this. Now, you could spiral, you could over-explain, you could write a mental script of all the comebacks you wish you had said, or you could just pause, step back into your circle of power. Inside your circle are your thoughts. You could consider maybe they don't understand my situation. If this family member is someone who has never experienced divorce personally, I guarantee you they do not understand your situation. But I do, and you do, and God does. And that is enough. You can just think through this and recognize where they're coming from, right? What else is in your circle of power? Your feelings, right? When you can step back and consider they have no frame of reference, they've never experienced this personally. Obviously, that you could assume the worst intentions or the best intentions. It's always best for you and all of your relationships if you assume people who care about you, people who love you, have the best of intentions. When you do that, you can remain calm, confident, centered, right? Get control of your feelings. And then your actions are in your circle of power. You can choose to politely excuse yourself or change the subject. That's staying in your circle of power, even when you're surrounded by people who don't understand and make offhanded comments that are hurtful. So, the TFA tool, thoughts, feelings, and actions. That's what's inside your circle of power. When in doubt, I want you to ask yourself, what am I thinking right now? What am I feeling now? What am I choosing to do? And how do I want to show up in this situation? Those things are always within your control. They're within your circle of power. If you're focused on changing other people, or you're stuck in the past, or you're trying to control outcomes, you've likely stepped outside your circle. But you can always come back in. Every single moment, you get to choose again. Now, this is a powerful tool that you can teach your children or any children you care about in your life, your children or grandchildren, or even children that you are teaching or ministering to. And when I teach it to children, I like to call this the bubble tool. Okay. So if you're a parent, a grandparent, let me share how you can teach this to children. But especially if you're going through divorce, this is a powerful tool to teach your children to help them stay in their circle of power as everything in their life is changing and feels very much out of their control. It's a difficult situation for kids to be in. So call it the bubble tool. It's the same concept, but it's a little bit easier to describe it as a bubble with children. So when parents separate and divorce, so many times children feel like their whole world is out of control and their brains automatically go into panic mode and look for ways to control something, anything in their life. And so many times kids act out. They talk back or they hit or they get in trouble at school. They may even break out into fits of rage or tantrums, right? Many times they try to manipulate one or both parents or teachers or other people just to control any tiny part of the situation. Their nervous system is trying to say, I feel unsafe. So they're trying to control any part of their world that they can. Their little bubbles feel very threatened. The bubble tool helps give them healthy control. So here's what you do to teach your children how to use this tool. Grab a piece of poster board or construction paper. Draw a big bubble or circle in the middle, and then have your child write their name in the center. And then talk about what is inside their bubble, things that they control, their words, their choices, like how they do their hair, or what clothes they wear, or what foods they choose to eat, or what toys they choose to play with. How they treat other people is also inside their bubble. Where they sit in the car, or what music they listen to, or what shows they watch. Whether they want to cry, or play, or read a book, or ask for help. And yes, mamas, hear this. This is a time to give your children the opportunity to make as many choices as possible in their lives. So maybe pick out 5 or 6 outfits that you approve and then let them choose what they wear each day. Let them choose how they do their hair, what they eat. You can make a selection of choices and then let them choose between the options that you already approve of. You may have to let go a little bit on letting them choose how to dress, but take a deep breath. This will allow them to expand their bubble and have more freedom of choice when their world is turned upside down. So then, on the paper, list what is outside their bubble: mom and dad's choices, who they live with, what their siblings do or say, and whether someone invites them to play, right? These are all specific things that are outside their bubble. And when they come to you upset about something, let's say their siblings won't let them get on the trampoline, you can gently say, is your sister inside your bubble? No. Okay, what is inside your bubble right now? And what can you do right now that's inside your bubble? You will be teaching them a valuable tool that will help them problem solve within their own bubble and teach them how to process their emotions without blaming or controlling other people. It's such a valuable tool for children and adults alike. Teaching this early on gives kids emotional vocabulary and personal awareness that many adults never learn. You will be helping them by building their confidence, learn to regulate their emotions, learning boundaries, and understanding agency. When kids know how to use their bubbles well, they build resilience and safety in this unpredictable world. You will be helping them access their own agency, and that is a gift that they will use the rest of their lives, no matter what situations come up for them. I love this tool, not just because it's practical, it is also spiritual. I really believe like this is rooted in gospel principles, the principle of agency. This is such a sacred gift from our Heavenly Father. He has designed us to act and not to be acted upon. He didn't give your ex control over your healing. He didn't give the court system control over your future. He gave you the ability to choose right now what you think, what you feel, and what you do, no matter what else is happening in the world around you. When you stay inside your circle of power, I promise you will be aligning with heaven. So, the final takeaways I have for you today are: remember, your power lives in your present moment. You don't have to give anyone else control over how you feel. And peace is always an option, but it starts inside your circle of power. And if this concept feels tough or confusing right now, it's okay. It took me months to really understand and apply it in my life too. You're not behind, you're not failing. Give this idea time to sink in. And as you practice it, you will understand it better and learn how to apply it more often in more situations in your life. And if you want help with this, book a free coaching session with me. I offer one free complimentary coaching session. I'd love to help you learn how to apply this in your divorce journey. You can bring your specific situation and we'll look at your circle of power together. I want you to know you are doing better than you think, my friend. I am cheering for you every step of the way. Thank you so much for being here today. If this episode has helped you, please share it with someone else who is navigating divorce or heartache. You never know who needs to hear this message. And I really want to help as many people as possible navigate divorce with faith, grace, and resilience. Remember, you do not have to do this alone. So make sure you subscribe to my channel and let's walk this faith-filled path together, one powerful choice at a time. And join Faith-Filled Divorce, my life coaching and divorce mentoring program for support through your entire divorce journey. Until next time, stay in your circle of power, stay grounded, and remember there is joy ahead of you, friend. You have got this. Bye, y'all.